So, okay. So, Paddy, how would you define your role then as a digital organiser at SIPTU?
Well, and Becky, thanks very much for the opportunity to be able to speak on this, because I think the more people talk about digital, the more people that talk about the benefits of mainstreaming digital throughout the trade union movement, the more members will sign up, the more kind of passive members will be able to turn to active members, and the more active members will be able to turn into even more active members. So I would describe my role as kind of connecting workers wherever they are and meeting workers where they are as well, and using the digital tools that we have to organize, to educate, and to empower them to deliver kind of real world kind of results and tangible results. So it's taken the best of kind of on the ground organizing, mixing up with a bit of digital, and being able to then to deliver kind of wins then for working people as well. And there's a variety of different processes that we go through. That we've developed a process in SIPTU ourselves, which is a 6-step cycle that I'll be happy to share with you throughout the interview, of how we actually do that, how we turn, you know, basically what is because a lot of people come to me and go, sure, your job is just putting up stuff on Facebook or whatever. I'm like, no. There's a whole kind of there's a whole science behind it. Like, we're in the data gathering business ultimately, because what we want to do is we want to take every bit of, and we've a whole kind of quality control element of what we're doing as well, because, you know, at the end of it, like, we're competing like online on your phone, you're competing with so much different stuff every single day, that we have to have the highest quality of content to be able to capture people's attention, and then we turn that attention into, you know, engagement, into leads, into sign-ups if they're non-members, but if they are members, maybe passive members, to turn them into active members. So that's essentially what I try and do. I try and turn people from being, you know, a very, very passive, pay me money or whatever, into like being enthused by what we do. And we do that by producing really, really high quality content that people can actually be proud of. There's a bit of that in it as well, because I think online it's all about reinforcing people's identity, and, you know, and that's what we try and do in SIPTU, is try and make people feel proud of the union so that they can then get other people to join.
What do you think are the similarities and also the differences between like on the ground organizing and digital organizing?
Well, the similarities for me are that if you're going to try and organize a workplace, right, you want to find out what the issues are, right? But like, what are the issues? Is it like long hours? Is it like poor pay? Is it health and safety concerns or whatever? And with digital, we have an opportunity to be able to spread that around the workplace much more than we will be able to if we were all just standing outside the canteen. So like, it gives you the opportunity to be able to get the data harvest so many more people to get that in. Now, the drawback of that is you mightn't be whites of the eyes and as many people want to, but like, I think with digital organizing, it gives you an opportunity to be able to identify who the people on the ground will be to be able to do that work for you, and then you'd be able to try and bring it on as well. So the disadvantage of like not having those whites of the eyes conversation, by the data you can gather, and there's so many, like, you know, and you know yourself, like it's very, very deep what you can do with people. You'll be able to identify who takes the most surveys, who's engaging the most, and then they can be your workplace leader as well. So the negative can actually turn into a positive with digital, in my experience anyway.
And what, just thinking about the types of workers that you engage with, what, who are you engaging with online? Like, is it a particular segment or cohort, or are you finding like it doesn't matter whether they're, to use an expression, blue collar, white collar, pink collar?
Yeah. Well, we're a general union, right? So that's the one thing, like, as opposed to Fords or the INTO, who have teachers or civil servants or who are nurses. We're a general union, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do when we're like deploying a digital strategy, we have to like, and we the way we do it is like, we go really local, like really, really local, or we go to sectoral. So at the moment we have early years campaign, which is dealing with the work in the early years sector. So
Mhm.
we've negotiated a pay increase or pay deal there on Friday. So what we've done there is we've produced a series of digital ads telling people, if you want to know about this deal, if you want to know about what you're getting, you need to sign up to our webinar, which is happening on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, right? So we put it out on Friday, we put it out through WhatsApp, we put it out through Instagram, we put it out through all of our kind of internal channels and external channels as well that we have. And we now have 1,200 people now ready to go to that meeting on Wednesday evening, where people are going to be explained, like, and that's members and non-members. And with the digital tools that we use a lot of Microsoft Forms, so we can see, we ask a question, are you a SIPTU member? You're not a SIPTU member? Out of those 1,200 people, right, 37% of them are non-SIPTU members who have given us their email address and their phone number. So what we do with that is now we use that data to give to our organizing team. We're going to make phone calls, because the digital thing, you won't be able to sign up people literally over an image, right? On social. You have to have the phone call. You have to have the conversation. You have to have that interaction where people say, listen, you need to join the union, and that's what digital facilitates. We're never going to replace on the ground organizing ever. It's just never going to happen. But we do provide our on the ground organizer with the tools to be able to have those conversations and develop leads. That's what we're all about in our organization. Develop leads so people can then have the conversations and sign them up.
Which I think, in the type of sectors that you cover and sort of the way in which the labour market goes in general, right, is almost goes across unions, across sector, isn't it? It's,
of course, yeah.
That it's leads. How do you get leads? Well, before, you'd stand outside of an office, or you'd stand outside a hospital or a factory, whatever. It's kind of almost like the equivalent of that, right?
Exactly. Like even if you look at there, like, because like what we try and do, because we're a general union, we have a certain we pick one campaign a month, right? And then we then review and refine it off those campaigns, public and private sector. So say when Trump came in with the tariffs, right? That caused a lot of anxiety amongst people who work in our pharmaceutical sector, which is the biggest private sector that we have in the union. So we sent out a survey of members in the public in the pharmaceutical sector to ask them, what were their concerns, all of that. It doesn't matter how many questions you put in. We keep them very tight. 5 questions. All we want is emails, phone numbers, addresses, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, if we have the members, great, that's fine. But we want the non-members. We want people that are concerned, that are not members of the union now. And through that short, kind of sharp campaign, I think we ran on for 3 weeks, we got 300 people in Ireland who are members, who were non-members, who are in the pharmaceutical sector. And with that, we were able to convert 50% of them. So that's a good way of just taking a kind of a hot button issue and then being converted into membership. There's other social campaigns that are happening now at the moment with what's happening in Palestine. There's a lot of rollback on LGBT rights, LGBTQ rights that happen in Ireland as well, that we're able to send out surveys on that as well. So we use kind of surveys and petitions as a way of being able to get those leads to be able to convert them into membership,
So you mentioned there that you use quite a lot of Microsoft. So I was going to sort of say, like, typically, what kind of tools are you using now, and what have you found to work quite well?
See it, like, if we're doing a national survey, right? Like, we'd use SurveyMonkey because it just really drills down into the data a whole lot better. We had a campaign a couple of months ago on respecting transport workers. There was a lot of violence against people working on transport, particularly women. There was horrific stories that were happening around the place. So we done a national survey on SurveyMonkey with the Respect Transport Worker campaign. We were able to, like, drill down into kind of racist incidents, sexual violence incidences, just verbal abuse and all of that. But if it's just a kind of a 5-question survey of, like, name, address, well, what's your biggest issue, we'd use Microsoft Forms, because that's integrated internally into our membership database system, where survey is an off-the-shelf thing that we can't actually use now at the moment. But Microsoft is integrated into into our own internal piece. So it's just a lot easier for us to be able to upload everything that we have into an, because ultimately, like, we were one of the first unions in the country. We were the first union in the country to create a bespoke non-membership that's all data, GDPR compliant, I must say as well, system where we have a non-membership list as well as the membership list as well, and we're able to actually with Microsoft Forms.
So you're basically almost, I mean, I was just thinking about it in businesses, but like you've basically now not only got your membership system and with your membership list, but you've got all this data of people that have come to you through all these other means that in theory you're able to
contact.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, does it give you insights in terms of the people that you're trying to reach?
Only on those specific issues. Now we can contact those people, and we always put in count in Ireland, because we're very local in Ireland. Like, so we always have like where they're from. The geography is always very, very important. So we have like, you know, through GDPR, legitimate interest. So if we have a campaign that's happening in County Leitrim, and we have all non-members, and we've got a meeting happening, we are able to email them people legitimately, or send them a WhatsApp, or send them a text message saying, this is happening, it's about X or Y, and the union is putting this on.